Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to complete Unit 1. We are going to start with Lesson 4 and 5. Then we are going to have some revision on what we have already studied from the beginning of this lesson. Our lesson today, Lesson 4, it's about let's make a recipe. So first, let's go through the learning outcomes of this lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to write a paragraph using sequence words, write descriptive sentences about foods, write a recipe using sequence words, make a flyer about your favorite restaurant. Let's start with lesson 4. Before we start our lesson, let me ask you a question. Do you like food? And sure, the answer is yes. We all like food. We can't live without food. So, as the answer to my question is yes, let me ask you another one. What's your favorite Egyptian dish? Let's have some choices. Do you like kushari more, or fatta, or mahshi, melokhia, or hawawshi? These are five of the most famous Egyptian food or dishes. So, which one is your answer? For me, I prefer melokhia. What about you? One of the most Egyptian or famous Egyptian dishes all over the world is kushari. Egypt is known for kushari all over the world. Everyone who comes to Egypt wants to try kushari. So, do you know how can you make kushari? Let's start our recipe. Let me begin by asking you a question. What's a recipe? What do we need to prepare kushari? We need a recipe. So, a recipe is a group of instructions for preparing a particular dish, including a list of ingredients we need and how to cook these ingredients. So, if you are interested in cooking and you can join your mother while she is preparing lunch at the kitchen, you find that she is preparing some things in her kitchen on the table. These are the ingredients, what the food consists of. And then when she starts by putting oil and then adding onion and so step by step, this is how. So a recipe is ingredients and how to turn these ingredients into a wonderful, delicious, yummy dish. So let's start by knowing what are the ingredients, what are the components, what do we need to prepare kushari. Main ingredients include these beautiful things. Can you guess what's in the picture? Yes, great. In the picture, you can see lentils. There are two different types of lentils. This one, the yellow one, and the black one. And sure, we need rice. We need pasta, small pasta, and we need chickpeas. These are the main ingredients of kushari. But this is not all. To get a koshari dish, an Egyptian koshari dish, we need these ingredients and also we need crispy onions and some sauces. To get the onions, we need large sliced onions like that, red or white, and sure some oil to turn them into crispy. And we need different sauces, not only one. We need the red sauce, the spicy tomato sauce, and the dakka sauce, which gives the koshari its delicious special flavor. So these were the ingredients of koshari: lentils, rice, small pasta, chickpeas, onions, uh, vegetable oil, and all of these beautiful, delicious sauces. These are the ingredients. So now we have the ingredients. Let's turn to how we can turn this ingredients into a dish. Sure, we cannot eat all of this, but in order to prepare kushari, let's start our step-by-step preparation recipe. As you see, we need, in order to reach this one, we need to cook the main ingredients. What are the main ingredients? They are rice, they are small pasta, they are lentils. First, the first thing, we need to cook rice. How can we cook rice? We can get a small pot of water and put it on the oven, add the rice, and let it boil until it becomes soft. While we are cooking rice or preparing rice, we also can prepare small pasta at the same time. We prepare pasta in the same way we prepared rice. We also get a small pot of water, put it in the oven, add the pasta until it can be eaten, it becomes soft, and that's it. Then, after we cook the rice and the pasta, we start cooking the lentils. We cook the two types of lentils separately. We don't cook them in the same pot. We can get one in the oven on the pot and let it boil until it becomes ready. And at this moment, at this stage, we have the components ready to make layers of kushari. We had the rice, we had the pasta, we have the lentils, and it's time to start our last one by getting chickpeas before the sauce. While all these ingredients are being cooked on the oven, let's start by preparing the red sauce. In order to prepare the red sauce, let's get some garlic, fry it in some oil, and add tomato sauce. Not only tomato sauce, we also add vinegar and some spices to create the flavorful red sauce, which gives koshery its special flavor. While these sauces are being boiled on the oven, we can start preparing the crispy onions. First, we cut the onions into slices, and after we cut them into slices, we put oil on the oven and then add the onion slices and let it fry until it become brown and crunchy like that. Now the koshery components are ready to collect them in a dish. So let's start assembling and collecting our dish. After we have already boiled and cooked the ingredients and prepared the sauce, let's make it in one dish. After that, we start putting the rice in a bowl and then add the pasta and then add some chickpeas like this one. We have rice, lentils, pasta in layers. After that, we after all of this is ready, finally we came to the last stage when we pour like this one. He is pouring the red sauce all over all these ingredients. And then we start putting the crispy onions at the top. We don't only add the red sauce, we still have two more sauces which give koshery its special flavor. One is a spicy tomato sauce and the other is dakka, which is made from garlic and vinegar. This mix of foods make koshery very yummy, yummy, yummy. And koshery is one of the most famous traditional Egyptian food. It's a famous one in our Egyptian culture. Now your favorite dish is ready to eat. You can eat it and enjoy. This was your special dish. We let us move now to some another step. Let us look at these words which are written in the text. These words are first, then, after that, next, finally. Do you remember? These words were written in the text to tell us what to do first and second and third until we reach the last step. So these words express sequence. What happens first, next, till we reach the end. So these sequence words are words we use them when we write a recipe to express the order or the sequence of steps to cook something. But this is not all. We can also use these words when we write a story to express sequence of events. We have already read and listened to koshari and how it is cooked from the beginning till the end. Now, let's see how these words are written, used in a story. Here is an example. Our example is about a day in the park. We are going to spend a day in the park with our dear friend Sarah. So, one day, Sarah decided to spend a day in the park. First, Sarah put on her shoes and grabbed her water bottle. Then she walked outside and saw her friend Omar waiting. After that, she walked together to the park. Next, they played on the swings and ran around the playground. Finally, they sat under a tree and ate some snacks before going home. Let's stop and think, how many things did Sarah do in the park? Yes, great. She did about five things. She put in her shoes, she got her water, she swam, she sat under a tree. But what did she start by? She started by putting on her shoes. This was the first thing. And after that, number two, she walked outside and went to her friend Omar. And after she met Omar, number three, they walked together to the park. Number four, they played on the swings until they finally, the last thing, they sat under a tree with eating some snakes until they went home. This is show us what Sarah and Omar did in order. That's why they express sequence of events in a story. Now, can you let's go back to our kosher dish and you will use the sentence, put them sentence in order to express the good recipe or the right way to cook recipe. We have here six sentences. We are going to put them in order. Number A, make a crispy onions, cut them into pieces and fry them. B. Pour the rich sauce all over it and put the crispy onions on top. C. Cook rice in a pot and pasta in another pot, then boil lentils. D. Add spicy sauce at the end. E. Put the rice in a bowl and add the pasta and the lentils on top. F. Fry some chopped garlic in oil and add tomato sauce. These are shows this is not the correct order, and that's why I asked you to put them in order. Yes, you are great. This is the correct order. We cooked rice and pasta, then we made the crispy onions and cut them and fried them. After that, we put the rice in a bowl and the pasta and the lentils. We assembled the dish. We fried the chopped garlic and to make and made the tomato sauce. We poured the red sauce all over it and added the crispy onions. And finally, we added the spicy sauce at the end, the spicy sauce and the duck. This was our recipe for making our traditional famous Egyptian food is kushari. Let's try another favorite dish. I told you about the famous one, and I also told you about my favorite dish. Can you remember it? Yes, my favorite dish was ملوخية, and that's what we are going to do. You are going to help me prepare ملوخية. So you are going to choose your favorite food, which you already chosen, which is mine, and we are going to think together about how it is made, what happens first and the next, and sure to exhibit the order, we need to use sequence words first, next, then after that. And when we reach all this, we are going to write from 30 words to 40 words paragraph to show these steps and add the title and prepare our a beautiful picture for my favorite dish, ملوخية. Are you ready to learn about ملوخية as we learned about kushari? Yes. Look at the picture. This is how ملوخية is made. First, we get the leaves of ملوخية and we washed them and cut them into small pieces with this knife. And then we need to prepare the soup. We get the chicken and boiled it to make the soup. And sure, we cooked the garlic and added it to ملوخية. So, how can we write this? It will be like that. First, wash and finally chop ملوخية leaves. Then, boil chicken in water to make soup. After that, cook garlic and coriander in oil. Next, add the mix to the soup. And finally, we serve with rice. This is rice and the ملوخية, another famous Egyptian dish. That's great. I really feel hungry. Let's check. First, we washed and finally chopped the ملوخية leaves. Did you follow the instructions? These instructions. Did you choose the food? Did we think about how it is made? Did we use the sequence words? Did we write 34 paragraphs? Did we add a title? Did we have a picture? Yes, let's check if we were right or not. Yes, here we choose our favorite food, which is ملوخية. We had a title, ملوخية dish. We used sequencing words first, then after that, next, finally. We wrote complete sentence, another one, and we have correct spelling. So remember always to have something like this before to check your work against to see if you were right or not. Now, as we have become professional cooks, let's start and open our restaurant. But when we open our restaurant, first we need some steps. All restaurants have flyers. Flyers. So, what's flyer? This is a flyer. Sure, when we go to restaurants, we ask for the flyer and the menu and so on. They give us something like this. Look at it. This is a flyer. What can you see? We can see photos, we can see information, we can see prices, we can see different types of food and different prices. So a flyer is a single page printed or digital document used to share information or advertise something. This is a flyer. It can be handed to you in paper like that, or some restaurant can have it with QR code, which you can scan with your mobile phone. But if it is printed or it is electronic, it should sure have these things. It should have a big heading, a big title to grab or to attract your attention. It should have a picture, some images or graphics to make it interactive. And look what's inside. It should give you details about the place, about what's the service, about what it offers. It also should give you contact information in order to go there and enjoy the food. So, can we find all these items here in this flyer? Look carefully and get ready to check. This is the flyer, and here is the big heading, restaurant and food menu. And here is the attractive image with different types of food. And here's the contact information where we can learn more about this restaurant. And here are the details, the types of food and their prices. It offers a cheeseburger, it offers meat pizza, it offers fried chicken, grilled chicken, seafood, and mixed cheese. And here are the prices to suit all people. So this flyer is very good. It gives you all what you need to know how to know about this restaurant. So what are we going to do now? We are going to make our restaurant flyer as we did our favorite dish. And here's our flyer. It's a flyer about restaurant which called Egyptian restaurant. This Egyptian restaurant offers different delicious traditional food, Egyptian food. Can you see them here in the photo? Yes. Here is melokhia and it's offered with rice. Here are some meat. Here are some falafel and tahina. Here are some feta with meat. This is grilled kebab. So it offers different and varied types of food. If you like to try any of these types of food, you can go there. You can find them at 123 Main Street. This is their phone number, and this is their website for more information if you like to reserve a place or to make an order. So, does it contain all the items of a flyer? Yes. Here is the main heading, the title, and here is the subheading, which gives us an idea about what this place offers. These are different images, attractive one about the service. Here is the invitation. Come and taste the authentic flavors of Egypt today. These are traditional food. And we have the contact information where we can go to this restaurant or call them or learn more about their times, their orders, and so on. This is our flyer for our newly restaurant. Now, let's make some review about what we have already covered. We have some MCQs and we are going to know choose the correct answer. And we are only going to choose the correct answer. We are going to know to learn why this answer is correct. Look at sentence number 1. The sentence says, the kings of the Nile are. small fish, birds, insects, crocodiles. Which one of these is the kings of the Nile? Is it the small fish, or the birds, or the insects, or the crocodile? Another question. Snakes in the desert often eat plants, camels, small animals like rats or lizards or birds. Stop and think. And here is the answer. The answer is crocodiles. Crocodiles are called the kings of the night. Why are they crocodiles and not insects or small fish or birds? Because crocodiles are big sea animals. They are bigger than small fish and they are bigger than birds and they are bigger than insects. They are more dangerous and more bigger than any other fish. That's why they are called the kings of the Niles. We can see that small fish is the kings of the night because they are small, and the birds sure fly in the sky. So how can we call them the king of the night? And the insects are very small, tiny objects, so they cannot be called kings of the night. What about number two? Yes, animal snakes in the desert often eat animals like rats and lizards. Sure, snakes can't eat plants. They will not feel, they still feel hungry. If they not, if they eat plants, it doesn't suit them. And sure, snakes is dangerous, but it's not, cannot eat a big animal like camels. Camels are very big, so snakes cannot eat them. And also snakes crawl in the land. So how can they get birds? The best answer, the correct answer is that small snakes in the desert eat small animals like rats or lizards. Let's have another question. Small fish in the Nile River eat large animals, birds, water weeds, crocodiles. Which one is the small fish can eat? Another question. If something happens 90% of the time, which adverb of frequency would you use? For 90%, we can use sometimes, or we can use rarely, or we can use always, or we can use usually. Which one express 90%? Number 5. Tom rested on hot days in the sun, on the tree's branches, in the shade of the tree, or inside the tree's trunk. Let's stop and think. Yes. Small fish in the river eat water weeds. Sure, small fish can't eat crocodiles. Crocodiles are dangerous and big, and the kings of the night. So small fish cannot eat them. They are weaker than them, so they cannot eat them. And small fish can't eat birds. They are high in the sky. And sure, small fish can't eat large animals. How can fish get out of water and eat animals and come again? Because if fish come out of water, they will die. So the correct answer is water weeds. Do you remember the water weeds? Yes, the plants we talked about them in lesson 1. They are plants that can be found in the night. They can fly or float, so they can float over the water surface, or they can be found deep inside the water of the Nile. This is water weeds. And can you remember when we talked about adverbs of frequency? Can you remember them? Can you tell me them? We told they were always, usually, sometimes, often, rarely, never. Always is about expressing something that happens every day. It's repeated every day with 100%. And usually it's less. It's repeated 90%. And often 70% when it is less, maybe 3 or 4 times. Sometimes 50-50. The same yes, the same no. Rarely were 1 or 2 times, and never this. This is no. It can't happen. So when something happens with 90%, it's usual. Can you give me an example? Yes. I usually go to school on foot. Maybe one day my father takes me in his car. Another example, I usually sit next to Ola in the class. Maybe day when she is not in the class, I sit next to another one. Another example, I am usually on time. Maybe one time I may be late. So we can say I am usually on time and verb to be before usually, but I usually go to school on foot. Remember, verb to be comes before the adverb, while the main verb comes after the adverb. Number 5, Tom rested on hot days. It's hot. So where can Tom rest? Tom can rest sure in the shade of the tree. He cannot sit in the sun because it's already hot. He doesn't need sun. It isn't windy or it isn't rainy. Sure, he cannot rest on trees' branches because they are very high. He may fall. And he cannot hide inside the trunk, inside the main body of the tree. It will be difficult for him to go inside. He can't do this, of course. So the best place to rest in the sun is in the shade of the tree, under the branches. Let's move to some other sentences. Tom made crowns from when he was young, from tree branches, from tree leaves, from tree apples, from tree trunk. Where did Tom made the crowns from? Number 7, the word selfish. Do you remember the word which described Tom with the tree? The word selfish means caring for others only, caring for oneself only, being generous, being kind. Which one means selfish? You remember Tom? He was selfish because what? Because he cared about himself. He had a tree. He didn't think about the tree. Number 8, in the word branches, what is the consonant cluster? Can you remember the word cluster, consonant cluster? In the word branches, is it ES or the letters BR or AN or CH? Which of these express consonant cluster? Number 9, which word has the consonant cluster CR? Is it black or plan or crops? Ordering. Have you got your answers ready? Yes. Tom made crowns from tree leaves. He collected the leaves and turned them to a crown when he was young. He cannot get the branch because the branch is very rough. It will be broken if you try to do something with it. Sure, he cannot turn the apple. The apples are eaten, not turn it to a crown. And sure, the tree trunk is very strong and powerful. He cannot get it and make crowns from it. So the tree leaves is the thing which Tom can use to make crowns from. When Tom cared about himself only and didn't think about the tree and didn't think if the tree need water or need air or need what, he only thought about himself and how can he benefit from or get what he can get from the tree. In this case, he only cared about himself. He cared when you care about only yourself, you are selfish. You are selfish. You are not generous. Generous is Kareem, which means that you like giving others. And sure, you are not kind. When you think about yourself only, you are not kind. And sure, Tom didn't think about others when he thought about himself. Number 8 asks us about the consonant clusters. Do you remember what the word consonant cluster means? Yes. What consonant clusters means two or more consonant sounds that come after each other like in the same word. Like for example, the word branch. Is it ES or BR or AN or CH? ES. Is ES consonant? No. It's a vowel and a consonant. E is a vowel. Do you remember the vowel, the five vowels? A, E, I, O, U. So E is a vowel plus consonant. And the same is N. A-N, vowel plus consonant. Someone can tell me, what about CH? CH are two consonants, while H sometimes is vowels. But here, the CH is just pronounced as one sound. They are not. They are ch, branch. So they are not two, they are only one. That's why the BR at the beginning of the word branch is the correct answer. Number 9, another question about another question about consonant cluster. Which word has the consonant cluster? CR, black, blend, crops, drink. Yes, it's crops. CR here. Here there is no CR, no CR, no the CR. Let's move to another one. Here we have another activity. We have some sentences. Each sentence has a word between brackets, like the word story, the word book, rabbits, look for, elephants, often, never, never. What are we going to do? We are going to see if this word is correct and matches the sentence, or if it is not correct or incorrect and doesn't match the sentence. And we are going to change the word, the incorrect one, to the correct one. For example, number 1, my grandmother gave me her secret story for chocolate cake. I liked my grandmother chocolate cake, and she gave me her secret story. Did she give me her? Did the chocolate cake have a story? The new pizza place handed out a book with their menu. The new restaurant with pizza were opened and started to give you one a book. And this book has a menu. Does a book give a menu? The Nile River is home to many rabbits. Do you know the rabbit? This quick animal. So, do rabbits live on land or live in the Nile? Animals often look for food to survive in nature. Is it okay? Animals looks. You can find many tiny elephants buzzing around the flowers. Can elephants move around the flowers? My brother often helped me with my maybe once a week. The Nile River never flows through Egypt. My family never eats dinner together every night. Yes. Have you got your answers ready to check? Let's see and check if you were right or not right. This is number one. My grandmother gave me her secret recipe for chocolate cake. I love my grandmother's chocolate cake. And I asked her how she made them, and she told me you get flour, oil, egg, and mix them together in this way, add chocolate, and this then put them in the oven, and that's why she gave me her recipe. A recipe. She gave me the ingredients and the way to make chocolate cake. So it's not a story, it's a recipe. And the new pizza palace handed out its flyer about with their menu. They didn't give us books because books contain information, not menus. The Nile River is home to many animals and plants, not rabbits, because rabbits live on land, not in the water. Animals often look for food to survive in nature. Look, not looks. Why? Because animals are plural. Here we have us. Because animals is plural, they don't have s here. It's oneness in the sentence. Here, animals, and so they take the verb without an s. And we can find many tiny insects buzzing around the flowers, not elephants. The elephant is too big to go around flowers. My brother helps me once a week, so he rarely, not often. And the Nile River always, not never. If the Nile River never flows through Egypt, there is no life in Egypt. It always flows. It gives Egypt its life. And sure, my family eats dinner together every night, always. That's repeated every day, 100%, not only one day. So we talked about adverbs of frequency, sea animals, crocodiles, and different information. We reviewed the information, the words and the grammar we studied through this unit. Now let's make some more revision. Can you remember these words? Main heading, subheading, image, menu, call to action. Can you remember where did you read them before? Yes, here in this session. Where were they? They were in the flyer. These are the main items or the main parts of a flyer. So what's a main heading? A subheading, an image, a menu, a call to action. Let's match and see. Yes. The main heading is the big title. That's why it's main. While the subheading is smaller. This is the biggest one, and this is the smaller than it. And the image is a photo or a drawing to attract attention. Remember, no flyer without an attractive image. And sure, a flyer about a restaurant contains menu because the menu attracts customers or people to go there to know what's there and what they would like to eat. If you like fish, the menu will show fish. If you like meat, the menu will show meat. You go to the menu, which attracts customer. And the to action is an invitation to which asks you to go and visit this place. These are the main parts of a flyer. So now we came to the end of our session today. Let's remember what we have already covered in this session? Yes, we started by learning and writing a recipe for a dish. Remember, we had two recipes for two traditional Egyptian dishes. The first was koshari. We knew about the ingredients and the steps, detailed steps to make koshari. We also knew about melokhia and the ingredients and step-by-step preparation to make melokhia. These were our recipe for today. And through the recipe, we learned how to use adverbs like first, then, next, after that, and finally. We used them twice. We used them in the recipes to talk about step by step the way to prepare food, and we also used them in a story, Sarah's story, which talked about her day in the park with her friend Omar when she put on her shoes, um, got her boat, and went to the swing, ate the sweets, and then went home. And as we were talking about recipes and dishes, we were preparing to open our flyer for our restaurant. And we knew that in order to prepare a flyer for a restaurant, we need to have a big title, which is the main heading, and a subtitle, which is smaller, and image, contact information, the menu, and the call for action. And at the end, we did some review about what we had already covered in this unit. Here we came to the end of our session today, wishing you all the best. Good luck.